Hey everybody, welcome back. Today's video is about simplifying fractions, and we'll get to that in a sec. But before we do, let's talk about today's shirt. Today's shirt is a Buffalo Bill shirt. Yesterday I wore Buffalo Bill socks, so I thought, why not follow it up with a Buffalo Bill shirt? But the thing I'm really excited about today is the socks. Now tomorrow is my birthday, and my wife and my kids decided to give me an early birthday present, which is pretty cool. Now, bear with me because I can't get my feet up this high today, so I'll have to take off my socks, which I know is gross, but trust me, it's worth it. So today's socks are actually socks that have my kid's face on it, which is pretty cool. It's the first time I've ever had personalized socks like this, so I'm pretty impressed by that. Let me get my sock back on first. Okay, so simplifying fractions. Today we're going to make simplifying fractions, which is basically making the smallest fraction possible. Okay, so to simplify a fraction, you need to divide the top and the bottom by the highest number that can get into both numbers. It's basically the highest factor, okay? Now there's a few ways of doing it, and the way that quite often you'll get taught to do it is to find all the multiples, all the factors of those numbers, find the highest one, and then to follow it on. Now you'll see by this number that it actually isn't as easy as you would think to do this, because sometimes there's a lot of factors, and sometimes you might not be able to find the factors in numbers like 108. So we'll go through and I'll show you how to do it the first way, and then I'll show you my way afterwards. So, finding the factors in 24. Obviously 1. Does 2 go into 24? Yes. Does 3? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24? Yep. Does 4? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24? Yep. 5? No. 6, 6, 12, 18, 24? Yep. 7? No. 8, 8, 16, 24? Yes. Wow, there's a lot of factors in this one. 9s? No. 10s? No. 11? No. 12? 12, 24? Now, it can't be any more than 24 because you can't have a factor that's more than half of it. So we're going to stop there, but that's a lot of factors. Now 36, let's go through 1, 2, yep. 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, yep. 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36. 4 is right, 5 doesn't work, 6 doesn't work. Wait, let's try 6. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. Yes, 6 does work. That's why I've got to check. 7 doesn't work. 8, 8, 16, 24, 32. 32 doesn't work. 9 works. 10, no. 11, no. 12, 12, 24, 24, 36. So 12 works as well. 18 also would go into it as well. But you can see here that there's a lot that have in common, but the highest common factor here is 12, so we're going to divide both by 12. So if we do 24 divided by 12, the answer would be 2, and 36 divided by 12, the answer would be 3. The answer is 2/3. Now you can see that process took me over quite a long time. Now obviously you could do it quicker in your head, but I'm just saying there's probably an easy way when you have those bigger numbers to actually make it smaller before we even start. And the way I would do that is I would just half the numbers, okay? If they can half the top and half the bottom, half both of them, okay, to make it a little bit easier before you start. So like with 24 over 108, to find factors in 108 is actually quite difficult. So let's try to make it easier on ourselves and just half the number. So let's half the top and half the bottom. So half of 24 is 12. Half of 108 is 54. Yep, that's right. Okay, now it's still getting a little bit easier, but let's just half it again. So half of 12 is 6. Half of 54 is 27. Okay, now it's getting a little bit easier. We can't half the top and half the bottom now because you can't half 27. So now we can go through and find the factors. So the factors of 6 are 1, 2, and 3. 1 itself, 6. And the factors of 27 are 1 and 3 and 9. Okay, you can see here quickly that the common factors here are now 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 27 divided by 3 is 9. The answer is 2/9. Now you can see here, if we could halve it again, we could make it even smaller, but there's no fraction that would be smaller than that. So that is the most simplified it could be. So see, by halving the top and halving the bottom, if you're confused about like working with those big numbers, just halving it and making it smaller, then you can find the factors towards the end if that's how you think would be easiest. So say with the top one, 16 over 24, you'd be just halving 16 is 8, half of 24 is 12, half it again, so 4 and 6. You get half it again, which is 2 and 3, and that's your fraction there, which is 2/3. Now, obviously I wouldn't suggest to do this all the time, but just as a number, especially for those sort of big numbers, trying to find all the factors in 108, it might be quite difficult. So trying to make that number smaller and more manageable before you even start to try to simplify it down would be better, I would suggest. Now let's go across to the extension section for today and talk about what we do if we have a mixed fraction. Okay, so if we have a mixed fraction like 2 and 12 over 18, my suggestion would be leave the two whole numbers as it is. Don't try to change the whole at all. Let's just work on the fraction. So the fraction would be 2 over 18. Now you could find the fractions, as I said, common factors by saying it goes into 1, goes into all that sort of stuff, or you could try my way, which is to half the top and the bottom just to get started. So then it would be halving the top of 12, 6, half the bottom, which was 9. So what goes into 6 and 9? Well, 3. 3 goes into both. So how many 3s are in 6? 2. How many 3s are in 9? 3. The answer is 2/3. Now you put it back with your two whole numbers, 2 and 2/3. Now it's really important that you make sure you put it back over here, because sometimes you would get 2/3 and then you'd leave that as the answer. But you got to make sure then you go back and put the 2 and 2/3 on top. So just checking your answer, going back, looking at what the question asked you to do, and then making sure that your answer makes sense with that thing. What happens if we get an improper fraction? Now this is a bit tricky. Now what I would suggest you do if you get an improper fraction is probably just to change it back to a mixed fraction and then simplify it from there. So remember we talked about how to do this is how many 4s go into 18. Now 4 goes into 18, 4, 8, 12, 16, 4, 8, 12, 16, 4 times. And what's left over? 16, there'll be 2 left over and 2 over 4. And now you can simplify it from there. So now we can see that 2/4, 2/4 is a half, because so we can do 4 and 1/2. So if you have an improper fraction, okay, and you want to try to get that into a simplified form, I would change it to a mixed fraction and then simplify it from there. I know this is a little bit tricky, but give it a go, okay? I'm going to give you some questions in the next few days to see how you go. If you have any questions, let me know and I can make another video to make it clearer. All right, thanks.